different books too. We don't just read the Bible to figure out who and where our people are. And because of the slave trade, you have to read different books to find out what happened in history. Because all of our names got changed. So you say you're an African American or black man, Native American? You say you're a black man? So what did God call the black man? Because you said you know that we chose dark, right? Well,
I mean, history is crazy.
so tell me what you know. You say you read a lot of books. So what in history led you to believe that we were chosen people?
Doing occult lectures,
Metaphysics?
metaphysics, occult lectures, just different things, man, through history.
Through history? So what about slavery itself? Does slavery tell us that we're the people of the book?
Slavery was crazy. I mean, it does. Slavery, we're still slaves right now.
True. So how does slavery say that we are
for the man.
True. That's facts. Here we go,
Hey,
man.
he worked for the man.
As far as that,
That's part of it.
I don't associate myself with certain things. I'm me. I am who I
Okay,
am.
but you being you, we're a collective of people who make up God's chosen people. Now, the Bible tells us exactly those people. Give me Deuteronomy 28:68. Before we get that, Dallas, who do you say you are? You? Okay, so when you fill out an application, who do you say you are? Native? So they call you a first American, right?
How you doing?
Do you know, according to history, how your people got over here?
I mean, I already seen it.
You don't?
Okay, thank you.
So we're going to explain both of those things. So check this out. We got our history book, which is the Bible, that tells us how the natives got over here, why they came over here, what they said they were going to do when they got here, as well as slavery. So what's your name, my man? What's your name? Dre? That's your name? I don't want to get it wrong. My name is Noah. So it's Dre. You don't look too sure about it, man.
Now he don't look like you don't want to talk.
I know. That's why I'm like that. I don't want to get your name wrong.
What's up, Drake? How you doing, man?
I'm your brother. And that's kind of why we're talking, because as black men, none of us want to talk about the elephant in the room. None of us want to talk to each other about the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is, you're an Israelite, I'm an Israelite, and so are you. But we lost that history. And how we lost that history is through slavery. Read Deuteronomy 28:68.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So, question. In the history that you know, does it take a ship to get to Egypt from Israel?
You're asking me?
Yeah. Does it take a ship from Egypt to Israel? Does it take a ship to get there?
I mean, Africa was broken away from Europe, right?
Right.
But you got Israel that's right here, and then you got the Horn of Africa that's connected. Egypt is right there, just right at that horn. So to get from here to there, they walk, right? They didn't take a ship. Right?
I wasn't there, but I would assume though.
But you say you read books.
I do.
So
But
according
you
to
can't, but
the...
everything that's in books ain't 100% true.
Come on, man. You came back. You can't go back on your words now.
I'm
You
not
say you
going
read
back on my
books.
words. I'm just telling you that history is just all in many books.
It's in many books. So if it's in many books, it tells the same story that, and geographically, from Egypt to Israel, you can walk there. Is that a fact?
Yeah.
It's a fact. You can walk there. I'm gonna wait till this go up.
The way which he appointed them They were destroyed in many battles. Very
This is
sore.
why we landed on the transatlantic slave trade. Think about it. Africans weren't selling Africans to white folk. We were in their land and we were prospering. Then we started living like them. Then they rounded us up, put us into slave castles in Africa, and shipped us over here to the white man. Let's call it what it is. That's what it is. Read.
But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore, and were led
Think about it.
captive.
We're the fastest. We're the strongest. We're the smartest. There's no other human being on earth that can match us in speed, strength, or intelligence. Everything that you see that is invented, the black man had his hand in it.
Correct.
That's a fact. There's nothing you can name that was invented that the black man didn't have his hand in. So how is it that we're here now? That lets you know that there had to be a divine intervention causing this to happen. Because no man out here can do it on their own. They all teamed up against us to do this, but it was the hand of God that brought us down because we broke his commandments. Read.
And were led captives into a land that was not theirs.
Okay, let's say we don't know who the Israelites is. Just by that part in the verse, read that part again, take it captive. What?
And were led captives into a land that was not theirs.
Name another race of people right now that live in another country that is not theirs and it was forced to live there.
We already know who that answer is.
This can only fit up. So we all know that this book is talking about us. Read.
And the temple of their God was cast to the ground.
70 AD. Romans, the white man, destroyed our temple. Read.
And their cities were taken by the enemies.
The Native Americans. We call this Oklahoma now. They was forced here. But before that, they was on the east side or the east coast of America. Now it's the 13 colonies. They built all that up. Or they forced all the Native Americans down this way. And they still took their land. Have you seen the flowers of the killer moon? Oh, y'all found oil? We gonna marry the women and kill them and take their land. That's the... Read on.
But now are they returned to their God.
So this is a heathen talking to his governor after doing a report on us back then. He said, wait a minute. Now they return to their God. Watch this. Read.
And are come up from the places where they were scattered.
Because this ain't the first time we were scattered. We've been kicked out of our land numerous times. Read.
And have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country.
Read.
For it was desolate. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
So this is what every other nation on earth understands. If we keep the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in sin, keep them eating pork, keep them spending money on Saturday, let them buy, sell, shops, sales on Saturday, unlimited sales on Saturday, right? Put them in church on Sunday. Give them a white God to serve. Give them an Arab God to serve. Give them anything but their God to serve. Give them money. Give them rap. Give them wheat. It's no coincidence that the consciousness of our people started to rise, and then they say, you know what? Let's legalize weed. There's been men that have been locked up for over 20 years selling weed bags. Now it's legal. You can go buy an eighth for $10.
We were speaking on it earlier about the state of America. Instead of them trying to fight it, they say, well, here's methadone. Or maybe if you get too high, here's some Narcan. You know, we don't want you to die, but we want you to keep getting high. And, you know, yeah, that's right. You know, we was just talking about that earlier. Like, man, I guess that's what America is now, because you know they legalized mushrooms, they legalized what is that, the acid, what, LSD, you know, and then you got places where they say, hey man, come get high here. You can get in a controlled environment in case you know, and man, that's kind of crazy.
Because we're waking up.
Right.
The blacks and Native Americans are waking up like, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. 40 years ago, they gave us Christianity. And our mothers and our grandmothers and grandfathers was in it. They didn't question anything. They got a job at a factory. They served white Jesus on Sunday. They was content. They brought up their family like that, whatever. Everything was quiet. They could rule in their kingdom quiet. But then the internet came. And then niggas started questioning things. Hold up, wait a minute. Hold on. Time out.
Now the white men call it woke culture. They don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what
Right.
the whole came up with.
Right.
bro.
Wait a minute. Okay, now let's make these sisters shake their ass more. Okay. Let's give them weed. You see that they're desperate to keep us sleep because they understand that we're waking up. Finish the rest of that.
Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
This is why they're doing it. Read.
And let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
This is why we have been slaves for over 400 years, because they kept us in sin for that 400. If we would have woke up 20 years into it and kept these commandments like we're telling y'all to do now, shit would have ended then. Read on.
But if there be no iniquity in their nation,
No sin. Read.
let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
The United Nations understand if we keep God's commandments, there's no way they can beat us. Because our God's going to fight for us. Remember, you hear the story of
Hold that
Egypt,
thought
right?
up, y'all.
Huh?
Hold that thought. Woke up and sleep with these, right? You couldn't sit back no longer.
Wait,
Yeah, he going in now.
Oh, what he say? Okay, well, let me get up there. Let me go ahead and get to talking in, you know?
Now, because it's true, we in a controlled chaos. I mean, but you got to understand that these people are actually orchestrating the control over this chaos. See, they're letting the chaos happen amongst us.
My thing was, you know, in the 70s, 60s and 70s, you had heroin that kind of kept us controlled. And then, you know, they came with crack. And, you know, if anybody ever lived through crack epidemic, it was hard on the black people. And so now that we are out of that, you like, well, you know, all the crackheads is old and they done passed away. Now the new generation done seen their parents who were smoking crack or doing this. They like, man, I'm not doing that.
They learn from it.
Right. And so now you like, well, dang,
Let me throw this fentanyl out.
man, where does fentanyl come
Right.
from? Fentanyl, and then you got the weed, and you know, like, they'll tell you, I quit smoking probably about 6 months ago. And the mental clarity is way different, man. And I'm like, man, you know, I see how they could legalize weed because it dumbs everybody down.
It slows things down.
It slows it all the way down. And I'm not saying, you know, to each his own, you know, but to me, I can't function daily just doing this, going here, doing this, and then you hear people say, man, I smoked this morning and got in my car and left my keys. You know what I'm saying?
You're not
And so-
functioning at a high level.
Right. And so that's where I had to get away from it because it's like, I can't even think half the time. You know, and then, you know, they give you the weed, then they give you social media.
But all of this is going into poisoning your body. Right. That's what we out here trying to get our people to understand. All those things that they pushing into our society are things that are either poisoning us mentally or they're poisoning our complete bodies. So you can't function at a high level. You're not going to be able to do the things that you need to do necessary to take care of your children and yourself if you're functioning at 68% every day. You get up and you start at 100 and then you're already at 68% because you hit the dude. You know what I'm saying? This is what we're trying to get everybody to kind of understand, that all of this stuff works against the word of God. If we was following this stuff a long time ago, like the officer was telling you earlier, this would have been over a long time ago. This would have been over a long time.
Remember your point?
Yep. Give me Psalms 133. Back to your point about unity, right? Like you said, that is the only thing black people is lacking in overall. And of course, you know, you got like sub-branches, right? Without unity, you're not going to have community. Without community, you're not going to have family. Without family, you're not going to have the nucleus structure in a community. They broke that, right? Let's see what, read that. 133 and 1.
Psalms chapter 133 and verse 1. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity.
You see that? They don't want that. That's number one principle in the Bible, in Scripture. Read that again, because like you said, we look at each other like it's a problem. But Willie Lynch and pinning the old against the young, the light against the dark, that was all a tool, because you don't think they went into our book they left us without reading for over 200 years. You don't think they took our book and read through it was like, okay, this is what everything opposite, right? The Bible tells us not to eat pork. Pork is the cheapest meat you can buy.
Who's the poorest people?
You know what I'm saying? Like, it tells you to be a husband of one wife. They promote promiscuity. Everything that the Bible tells us to do, they promote the opposite. So read that again.
Psalm chapter 133 and verse 1. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity.
That's why our music is like, you see that nigga, stomp that nigga, kill that nigga, shoot that nigga, fuck that nigga on that other side.
Right, right.
Y'all banging hoods. The hood is the same place on the same side of the city. Just because your mama was able to afford a house or rent this house in this neighborhood, Ray's mama rented that house on that neighborhood, y'all at odds. And y'all have no control over why y'all live there. What if your mama started, you know what? She made a little bit more money and then started to rent a house on that. What? Now what? You see what I'm saying? How subjective they could be, but that these are all tools to divide us.
It ain't a coincidence why they don't have R&B music no more.
Right, man.
They don't want us to have that love
They
song.
don't want you to have that love,
That's soothing.
It's
Yeah.
all about doing drugs.
Because they make more money when you get shot at the club. When they was playing number R&B at the club, not saying it was right, but they ain't have to worry about the police. They ain't making money that way. Think about it. You get shot at the club. Let's see who makes money. The coroner's making money. Oh, now they gotta arrest the person that shot him. Now he's about to be in jail for the rest of his life doing free labor.
Free labor.
Right.
The
Pennies
funeral
on the
home,
dollar, ain't he?
Right.
the funeral home making money. The person who made the coffin making money.
Right.
The church making money because
Right.
they're holding the service. The
Exactly.
person that owns the plot of land in the cemetery making money, all because they played Lil Young Jeezy at the club. That 3-minute track fed 10 people. So your unity is detrimental to their economy. Think about it. The Jewish man, the so-called Jewish man, I'll show what's about to go to the store for something. Watch it.
Hey, I need one of them. Shit, bro. I need one of them.
The Chinese man lives by that verse. I'll say that because think about it. On the eastern side of Oklahoma City, right? They got the Asian district, right? They do business with themselves. They're not called racist for doing business with themselves.
Absolutely not.
We don't do
And you go to the casino, they throwing big money in the casino amongst each other.
We do business with ourselves. Man, can you hook a brother up? I need at least
It's
5
discounted business.
Or watch it. Or watch it. You promote, you buy black. Oh, why you only buy black? That's racist. You a black identity extremist because you want to do business with your own people. They don't say that about the Asian man. They don't say that about the white man. They don't say that about the Jewish man or the Arab man. It's only you. They don't want you to do business with yourself.
At one point in America, we only had the option to do business with ourselves until they took the signs down.
And that's to that point of destroying the unity.
Right.
You say black people can't come together, and the only time we come together
That's
when
what
it's
he's
something
talking
evil. It's because they know our history. Cat Williams said something in the interview. I forgot who he was interviewing, not Shannon Sharp. It was another guy, I think it was the DJ.
Willie D.
Yeah.
Willie D.
He was interviewing with him, and he said the liar knows the lie. Because what got him started was, why do white people focus on things that they don't like, which is us? Because he was like, I don't focus on what I don't like. If I don't like something, I just do the opposite.
Yeah,
focus
get away
on what
from
I do like.
Exactly.
But these other nations focus on what we like, what we don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Why? And it was another video I was watching talking about dang, what's his name? Unfiltered. Dang, I forgot his name. But when we got the thing where Fox dude, with the Tubi. Martin. Martin something. You remember his name?
Roland Martin.
Roland Martin, yeah. I was watching him. And they use us to make more money. Like the Wayne's Brothers show. I can't think today. It's like I'm clouded.
In Living Color.
In
Living
Living
Color.
Color. That show made them a lot of money. And then they fired them from the show, kept the show, kept making money off the show, but used them to buy football. And brought it to Fox. Because of the ratings that they had during the Super Bowl. That's why you got your Super Bowl halftime show. It's because of black people. They use our unity to destroy us or to make them money. That's how you know we're still slaves. Every nation is doing the exact same thing. Sell to the black person. It don't matter what you do to them. They're still going to buy from us.
Team move.
That's what happened with
Amazon.
I was watching where Ice Cube said that's what happened with Friday. He wrote Friday, but in order for it to get Friday to the main stage, he had to go sell the movie to the big companies like Columbia or all those. So after Friday 1, 2, and 3, now it's like, oh no, we don't want to go in that way. You know, they want to kind of make it look bad, make the black man look worse and worse in the movies. You might, like Cat Williams say, put on the dress. You might have to kiss Day-Day. You know, and so Q was like, no, this the way I want to go. And they said, we want to go this way. So they was at an impasse, and he was just like, forget it. I mean, it was his movie, but he didn't own it once he sold the rights.
And what did they do to Cube and Cube Vision? Cube Vision was the company up under those movies.
Right.
But what they did was, what you're saying is, after they stalled him out for all them years, they said, we'll give you $10 million to do Ride Along. And then we'll follow you up with next, whatever, the next, all the next movies. So they made him rich, but the cast of Friday, all the supporting cast members, they had they came up,
They made $5,000 off that movie.
It's the same thing that went on with just called Purple Movie.
Exactly.
They said, man, them people didn't make no money off of that.
You heard Taraji come out and say that.
So they didn't have no lunch for them on set, nothing.
And
So
just think about the strategy behind it all. Did we really respect Ice Cube for doing all them family movies?
No.
No,
But were we
nobody.
watching them as a family? With the kids?
Yeah.
People that have families.
Yeah, we was
Yeah,
watching them
people
Ice
that
Cube
have-
movies.
Yeah, we did.
Because he was a black man being a family man. We know this nigga is a Jerry Curl gangster.
Right.
We want to see Dope Boy.
Yeah.
That's what we want to see.
You want to see
But
Craig.
but you see the marketing? Now name a movie that you watching with your wife and kids outside of Disney that has a black structured family.
You ain't gonna guess that.
Man,
Give me another Cosby show that you watching with your family.
they ended them all.
Alright.
They took Family Matters off.
But we can find a Full House on TV.
Oh, it's in syndication.
Oh yeah.
We can find it so
They updated the family.
They took Living Single
They
off
remade it.
off the
that's what I'm
network.
saying.
They
They
put up
updated that
Friends.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Friends ain't nothing but a white living single.
Right.
Yeah.
so you gotta see
We was
the
just talking about that
strategy
too. We was just talking about that.
of how they're dumbing us down.
Right.
Because you're a black father, you with your wife. You're a black father, you with your wife and kids. Why isn't that a norm for us? Like, just to name an entertainer, because that's all we ever see is entertainers.
She didn't need
One entertainer that you actually seen with his family with a family show that's reality was T.I. That's the only family dad that you've seen in entertainment. The only one.
He has an extensive criminal record, but you see what I'm saying? You can't have both. You can't have the family man and with a clean background. He has to go to jail 2 or 3 times.
Got
Yeah.
2 or 3 baby
Controversy.
mamas.
Right.
So you got to think, man, how far what the officer is saying is important. You got to think how far Bill Cosby is, the Cosby Show, from T.I. Family Hustle. Man, that's extreme. You couldn't imagine Bill Cosby on the Cosby Show with a few felonies trying to raise Theo. You see the content of T.I.'s show, but in essence, like he's saying, that's the only black role model that we see that's promoted by mainstream media to be positive. and he's a terrible example of positivity.
Yeah, they have
Expeditious.
black people like your daddy's a doctor, your mama's a lawyer, and y'all living in this nice home.
Right. They
And
don't
you see
show
them
that.
coming home every day, and even though Claire worked, she still was cooking.
What they
She
show
was
that.
a
Dealing with
mother.
day-to-day problems with
Your
the
daddy is
kids.
Yeah.
entertainer.
Yeah, it was
And
like,
T.I. can't even get in the gate at his house.
But watch this. Higher learning promoted more HBCU admission than any other time in America.
right.
So they understood, okay, the power of imagery. We give them a positive image. Oh, they're going to college.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're going to college, HBCU college. All the black shows, they were wearing black
Black college
HBCU
dress.
sweaters and everything.
Everything. And they stopped that shit.
They stopped that shit. They had to.
They
Because
said,
guess
hold
what?
on, now, y'all getting too smart. Y'all getting too smart on
Y'all coming back together.
Come on now.
Now we gotta break this.
Come on now.
So I hope you soaking in some of this.
He ain't listening
you
to
ain't
nothing y'all
none of
said.
it. Because your
I'm
whole
telling
life
you,
has been dictated to you what you are and what you ain't gonna do. And the reason why you're not soaking any of this in is because it's the Bible. They taught you that the Bible is boring, is whack, as religion, and the entertainment world. I bet you can tell me anything about LeBron James and his son right now, right?
You want to see?
You follow sports?
No.
So what you do?
Watch anime.
You watch anime? I watch
I'm
anime
telling
too.
you, this is a different generation y'all speaking
I got
to,
a
bro.
question. Y'all, so are y'all gonna stage like a coup d'etat or something? Like
It's already
you wanna-
happening. It's already happening.
Where?
What you mean where? We standing right in front of you. This is a war. We're warring for our people right now.
Let me clean it.
You said, what now?
On the top. Meaning overthrowing the government.
Yeah.
But you want all black
Give me that
people
in
to come-
Daniel. I'm gonna show you that we're doing it right now. Give me Daniel,
all black people to come.
what is it, 8?
Stage a coup d'etat.
I ain't heard that.
What do we benefit from it if we still don't have our own land?
I'm gonna show you right here in the Bible. The Bible is gonna tell you that we've already staged it. It's just that our people are asleep and they can't see the war. We've been fighting the war since we got here. You had Nat Turner. He staged it. He went against the white slave masters. What happened to him? And who killed him? Nat Turner. Nate Turner. You don't know who that is? Because, what's the movie?
Birth of a Nation.
Birth of a Nation. You seen that movie?
No.
What? You didn't see that movie? It's a good movie. Ain't no kill for that.
Either which way, Martin Luther King, he staged the exact same thing with his movement. Malcolm X staged the exact same thing with his movement.
Black Panthers.
Yeah, the Black Panthers, the Crips and the Bloods, they even staged the exact same thing
But they
to
take
fight
that
against
to
the
something-
police.
They take that to something bad after this. They make that bad.
You know how I'm gonna tell you how Crips and Bloods got turned into so bad. You seen Judas and the Black Messiah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You remember how the agents would go in and infiltrate the Black Panthers and basically change some shit around.
Take the kingdom.
They did the same thing to the Crips and Bloods.
No problem.
This is
I'm
why
asking
in
you a
LA
question
they
from
have
this
no
person.
idea why they still killing each other.
Take the kingdom.
They'll say, oh, because my cousin died, so I want revenge. But where did it all start from?
the Most High. You know what I'm
It all started because
What verse is
FBI,
that?
COINTELPRO,
Speak great words against the Most High.
infiltrated the gangs, caused the infight, and they lit the
They
fuse
did
and it
that
never
with the
went
Black
out.
Lives Matter.
It would have happened with Fred Hammond if he didn't go beat the gang leader in the movie. And he was like, I got this letter that you call this rat. He said, I didn't write that. But if he would have believed him, then what? It would have been a war between the Black Panthers and the Green Hats, right? But he squashed it right there. So they had to go kill him because they wanted the other black men to kill him. You see what I'm saying? But the Crips and Bloods fell into it.
Y'all might
That's-
want to give the young brothers some clarification before we leave.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm finna give it
Go
to
ahead, my bad.
So you
You talking
said
about overthrowing the government.
you want us to overthrow the government. You know who's gonna overthrow this government?
Who?
Us. By us keeping God's commandments, that's going to bring Christ back. And it's the end of the war. And this is the prophecy of it's gonna happen. Read. I'm gonna give you a couple verses to show.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High.
The great words that he spoke against the Most High was killing our leaders. The infiltration that the officer was just saying. Him bringing religion into the world. Every religion that you think of was created by the white man. That's him speaking great words against the Most High. Read.
And shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
Wearing out the saints. That's all that history through the 60s that we went through, slavery. That's us being worn out in different philosophies, doctrines, different beliefs. All of that is us getting worn out. Read.
And think to change times and laws.
So times have been changed. Instead of, we have leap years now. God didn't create leap years. He even changed the meaning of what the moon is from dark to light. He calls the dark moon the new moon. And that's not true. Read.
And they shall be given unto the hand, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of times.
So those times and divided the times, that's 350 years. That's approximate of what we spent in bondage, in slavery. Read.
But the judgment shall sit.
The judgment is going to sit. What you're talking about is going to happen, is what it's saying. Read.
And they shall take away his dominion.
We are going to take this kingdom back. The world. Not just the United States, not Africa, not Asia. We're going to take the world back. Read.
To consume and to destroy it unto the end. And the kingdom and the dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven,
under the whole earth, read,
shall be given unto the people of the saints of the Most High.
So God's chosen people are going to receive this world back. That's what we're fighting right now. It sounds like we're just fighting with words in a Bible, but it's bigger than that.
Right.
It's way bigger than that. And that's why I was asking. It's imperative that you're listening. I'm not saying it's going to convince you today or right now, but it's going to happen in your life to where you're going to have to make a decision. Give me Joshua 1:8. You're going to have to make a decision. Because listen, I sit back and watch anime too. I'm into Jujutsu Kaisen, One Piece. I'm waiting on Dragon Ball Z not to go in the direction that it's going right now. But
what direction is it going in? So, you gotta say.
I They turn me into little kids. I want to see Moro. That's what I want to see. But read that, Joshua 1:8.
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth.
That happened. It left us. We don't care about this book. We don't care about God like that. We don't want to learn about Jesus. We think that we've learned enough about the white image and the white doctrine of Jesus that it's like, what? I'm just living my life and do whatever I want to do. I got you, sis.
So where is the black doctrine that y'all coming from? Because this is a white man's Bible that you reading out of.
Oh
King
man,
James.
I was waiting for that.
King James.
I was waiting for her to say that.
This is y'all reading out. Where's y'all book, bro? Where the Israel book of the Israelites?
So check this out. We've already.
Deuteronomy 28 was in verse 28 through 92 was all King James. That's a white man.
So when we read it, Daniel, he
is a white man. Y'all tripping. If they wasn't all black, they wasn't all white. They had to be all black. All the King Jameses is all white people, bro.
That's not true.
Show me the King James you talking about.
So check this out. I'm gonna show you in the context of the word. Hold on.
Show it. No, I want to know why y'all is reading out this white man's Bible and not the Israelite Bible. Tell me that.
This Bible is about the Israelites. This Bible is written about Israelites.
Hold on, bro.
Not that one you reading out of. That's a King James.
This is right here.
Sis.
That's a King. What do it say? KVJ?
KJV? But check this out.
That's the white man.
Why would the white man tell everybody that his kingdom would be destroyed by God? Why would he write that?
Bro, they only changed parts where they wanted y'all to be slaves, right?
They never changed that. They just gave us a context according to their, because what they said is true. Slaves obey your masters. But that's not the correct context.
Again, why are y'all not reading out of the
Hey, Amanda, take your phone and look up the slave Bible right now.
Hold on. Watch this. We're going to prove it, right?
I need to know.
We're going to prove it. Can I prove it?
Yeah, go ahead.
So
the
it's
generation of internet
we
people,
about to go in
bro.
there and start shooting stuff up, killing people.
Is that the-
Like
is that-
I'm not saying that that's what you gotta do, but
that's
we're still
that's what
we're
happens.
still gonna need everything that we still have in our daily lives now.
Yep.
So you don't think God gonna provide that?
Man, that's in the afterlife.
No, it's not.
Okay, then
We're not gonna live we're not gonna live in that afterlife. The world, because what we just read in Daniel says that we're going to take back everything that's under the heaven. What's under the heaven?
This firmament that we live in, that's
So
what
we,
you're talking about?
so
Yes.
that means we gotta go to Japan and everything else too, and take like overthrow their government.
And
What you're saying.
The whole
think-
world.
Buddhism and
I
all
don't
that.
think they mean overthrow the government. I think that they mean to create unity in the wake the people of the BS that's going on. And once you get to moving all in one movement, everybody is on the same page. You don't have to just sit there and physically go get a gun
No.
and overthrow the government.
No,
In
not
time,
that.
the way we move, it's gonna show them. Like, okay, for instance, you remember how Donald Trump had all them people storm the Capitol,
all the white people.
which you knew in the end it's not gonna work because this is America. But if you take back and we go get a Black Wall Street again, right? And we get to helping people get financially literate, and you do this and we all come together, you don't have to physically overthrow the government.
That's still like
No.
using our same daily lives that we live in right now.
So
Yeah.
what you're saying? Give me Revelations 18:4. This is what you want. You
I
want
got
to
you.
still live in
I
America
got
I'm done.
with the benefits of America. You want to live in Japan?
Oh, God.
Japan
Y'all
hates
me
you
out.
just as much as America.
You know what your answer?
No, y'all is not answering. Man, y'all been
trying
around
to
the
get
bush.
to-
Revelations 18:4. Watch
Yeah,
this.
yeah, they trying to get him
Come
right.
on, bro. I can got two
Revelation chapter 18,
Yeah.
verse 4.
Read.
And I heard another voice from heaven saying,
This is the voice that you're hearing right now. Read.
Come out of her, my people.
Come out of the mentality that you're in right now, that you can go from this country to that country. No matter where you go right now, you're still under their rules, their regulations, how they run things. That's not the direction that we're going. Read.
That ye be not partakers of her sin.
Because all of these nations are going to get destroyed. Their way of life, how you think the way of life should be after World War III, it's not going to happen. Read.
And that ye receive not of her plague.
That's what we're trying to teach our people. This place and Japan is going to be taken out by nuclear destruction. You can't escape that in the state that we're in right now. The only protection that you have is if you keep God's commandments. So you keep thinking of this as just a religion. This isn't a religion. That's our government. That's how our society is supposed to run. How many white people you know sagging talking about, I'm finna shoot a nigga, I'm finna shoot a hunky? You know why? Because they don't operate like that. Only niggas operate like that. God gave us commandments. Don't hate your brother. If you kept that one commandment, their system falls. That's how you overthrow a government, by keeping God's laws. And like I said, when he read Judith, that they know when we sin, that's it for us. They can conquer us. They can run us however they want. But when we stop sinning, that's where our protection comes. That's where they're overthrown. That's when they become overthrown. There's not going to be no one shooting a gun. There's no speech. There's no Dr. Martin Luther King that's going to come. And there's not going to be one man that comes and says, hey, follow me. I know how to overthrow the government. It's not going to happen. It's each and every one of us as an individual keeping God's commandments as his commandment.
But it still live the same life.
Yeah?
Together.
Yeah? Give me Baruch 3.
Man, all right.
Check this out. I got
So,
you said you still live.
I'm gonna smoke weed,
Hey,
I think sometimes people listen to respond, then listen and try to get understanding. Because you know, I don't know. That's what I've been here facing lately. Everybody always got something to say after.
Well, you gotta understand it. Like what the officer is what he's trying to bring out is that
going to the young man's question, all of us ain't gonna hear this and do what this Bible say.
Y'all still
See what I'm saying?
bro.
Everybody's not gonna hear what this Bible say and actually do what it says. So everybody's not going to get saved.
You didn't give me 5 minutes.
No, I said
Everybody's not going to get
two.
salvation in
No, I
this
already
case.
did. He was
No,
talking
you didn't give me
the whole
2 minutes.
No, but he was talking.
You didn't give me
I
2
said I'm gonna
minutes.
give y'all.
Amanda,
2
come
minutes.
on back.
You
No,
start the clock for 2 minutes. Well, give me 2 minutes.
no.
Okay.
There's no explanation that y'all can give me about who y'all are as a people, and you reading from this white man Bible, but we supposed to be separate.
Amanda, you got weed on your brain right now. You
No,
come on now.
it ain't weed on my brain, bro.
So
Y'all
if I showed you,
y'all can't
hold on,
answer
wait,
the
hold on.
question.
I can. If I could show you that the white man's demise is written in this Bible clear as day, you wouldn't believe it.
No.
So what would I? So
We
so
just read that.
Right, I can prove it to you, but you wouldn't believe it. You just told me that.
But,
if I prove it to you, you wouldn't believe it.
King James and his homies wrote the Bible.
Okay, watch it. I got a question for you. Who rules in the Dark Ages? Who ruled the Dark Ages? Who ruled Europe in the Dark Ages?
I don't know. I ain't no history buff.
You don't.
Black people.
Black people. Black people ruled Europe for over 1,000 years. You know what happened in those 1,000 years? King James was born in those 1,000 years.
Okay,
They were.
show me a picture of the black, the black
He's about to
King
bring it
James,
out.
and then we can go
I got
from
it
there.
right there. I got it right there in my back.
That's why they call
Let's go. Grab it.
Let's see.
That's why they call Caucasian.
Ah, 2 minutes is up, gone.
That's why they call Caucasian.
Go. Bring it over here, man. Somebody that's susceptible to it, bro.
Hey, man, yeah. Finish the conversation,
Infatuated
man.
with it right
Hey,
now.
I want
We
to.
finna get Joe. We
No,
finna
no,
get Joe.
argument how we not. I told her we still slaves. And she was like, how? She was like, I got my own. I can do my own thing, do everything else. I'm like, bro, we still a slave because we still paying for others. We paying for shit. That don't belong to us.
Right.
So let's back up a little bit, right? So
Okay.
there's different conversations going on. So how do y'all feel about what y'all see in the Gaza Strip? You know what I'm saying? What the Israelis is doing to those people over there? How do y'all feel about that?
I mean, if anybody who knows what's really going on, that
It's a white thing going on.
man,
They're
they're trying to take over and take that land, which originally that Israel was not their land. I don't think America came and said, yeah, this is for Israel, but that's not it. You can't just put Israel right in between the Palestine, right in the middle. And so now I think it's more of a play to try to take back, because if you've seen where they asked Netanyahu, whatever his name is, they said, so who's going to control Gaza after the war is over? And they said, well, we got things in place where we got people who can govern this country. So basically, you just trying to take over that area, which they've been on. That's what the war been going on for. This war been going on for decades.
Since 1948.
Yes.
Since they've been landed in 1948, they have systematically pushed the Palestinians
out
into that corner. But their plan is to exterminate them all.
Oh, I bet.
Right.
Yeah,
Complete genocide, right?
That's why they turn off all the signal and everything.
Right.
You can't
But
see
isn't that
nothing
hypocritical? Because didn't they hate Germany for the same thing?
Boy. Hold up.
We don't want to talk about that though, huh?
Hold on.
They don't want to get into
So
that.
America, you can't even say anything like that, and they'll call you what they call
Anti-Semitic.
Yeah, they're right there.
But guess what? That lets you know who actually runs America. They run. This brings us back to the point.
Mm-hmm.
They run the media.
Right.
They run everything on the top society is ran by those Jewish
people.
Jewish
Found it in the book, but that's King James.
But yeah, black dude.
Look just like Uncle Johnny, don't he?
No, that's important. Let's give me Revelations 2:9. The reason why I brought that up is because
That's King James.
just like the young brother was bringing out, the coup d'etat, right? What are we gonna do? As far as us, we in the purple and gold. We saying all of this. We reading out of a book. In his mind, all he can see is his life circumstance. White people run everything. That's true. He see. How could us in this condition ever rise up? That's a valid question. And if he would have stayed long enough, we could have dealt with it. But read this, watch this.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 9.
Before me having this understanding, I just knew niggas was not going to do nothing, be nothing. You know what I'm saying? But what we were subjugated to, right? But this clearly read that.
I know thy works and tribulations and poverty.
That only fits one people. Read.
But thou art rich.
We're rich. It don't seem that way. Like the brothers, like, how the hell are we rich? Read.
And I know the blasphemy
The
of
lies is what blasphemy is. Read.
And I know the blasphemy of them that say they are Jews and are not.
Who's the only other people on earth calling themselves Jews? Those Israelis bombing Gaza. Let's see what God calls them. Read.
But are the synagogue of Satan.
They really worship Satan. This is why they promote all manner of evil in our community. They're the ones promoting the music we listen to. They own the porn industry. They own the film industry. They are the synagogue of Satan. Now give me that in Matthew 24. Matthew 24. Get to the point where Christ was talking about it. Because he thinks that we gonna come together and overthrow the government. We don't have to do that, bro. And I know it sounds romanticized that we think that if we just come together, all is gonna fall apart on its own. But we're witnessing it happen right now. Give me that.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 4. And Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you.
Have we been deceived? Yes. We have absolutely been deceived. Even though this man said not to be deceived, we still let a nation deceive us. Through what? What we see on TV, what we hear in our music, how we conduct ourselves, right? The religion that was passed to us through our family members, right? Read. We were deceived. Read.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ.
Many have came in his name saying they're Christians, right? They put us in slavery. They say, we're Christians. We're going to put your black ass in slavery. We're going to whip your back in the name of Jesus. He said, many will come in my name saying they read.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
And they deceived us with that. That's why we're still in Christianity till this day. Read.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Is that not happening right now? America just bombed Yemen. Gaza is on fire. Ukraine is going at it with Russia. All of this is lined, and if you looked at the news, all of America's allies is turning their backs on it because of its relation with Israel.
Did you see where the whole Middle East is coming together and protesting? They want world war
I
because
just seen
of,
that. Didn't you just post
Yeah.
that?
You know what I want to second that?
What y'all just posted?
16. Hold it. No. Read that.
all trying
But
to come together, all those countries.
the Bible says exactly what you just said, that
Right.
they were going to do that. We're going to read that next. Watch this.
And
This is end time prophecy. Read
Before
that.
you read that, this is what I was trying to explain to the young man. He wants people to gather together and say, we're going to fight. That's not how it's going to happen. God is not operating like we operate. He don't think like we think. For
You
our
know exactly what I
salvation,
want.
for our
Find me on my
salvation,
Bible.
us being
It's,
saved,
Section 16.
is they're going to fight.
About
They're going to fight to
Ishmael
the death.
coming together.
And that's going to be
Dragons
for
in the
our
wilderness.
sake.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to happen. Read.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Read.
See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
What end is he talking about? He ain't talking about the end of the world, like the earth is going to blow up or anything like that. Give me 2 Ezra 6 and 9. You got what I want? Okay, read this first. This is the end he's talking about. 2 Ezra 6 and 9.
This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 6, verse 9.
Read.
For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
So, you ask yourself now, who's Jacob and Esau? Esau is the father of the white people, and Jacob is our father. So go. You still holding that in Matthew?
Yes.
So read that again. He said the end of the world. So the end of the world he's talking about is the end of Esau's world. Who's ruling the earth right now? Esau. Read that.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 6.
Come on.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, But the end is not yet.
Read.
For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places.
Didn't an earthquake just happen at the beginning of this year and killed 168 people in Japan? Didn't we just feel earthquakes last Saturday?
Yep.
Yeah. It was not too long ago. It was one in Pakistan.
Right.
Yeah.
All of these people had something to do with our slavery. This is why I don't feel bad when like this happens to them. Because this is God bringing judgment on earth for what they've done to us. This is why I'm saying we don't have to lift a finger. What we need to do is what we're supposed to do. We got put in slavery for not keeping the commandments. We get out of slavery for keeping them. This is a whooping. You whoop your kids, they out of line. You take away everything that they like because they didn't do what you told them to do. But when they start acting right, what do? You give it back. You give it back. Our Father the same way. Now, you got that? Read that.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra.
This is what you
chapter
said, E.
15, verse 29.
Read that.
Where the nations of the dragon of Arabia
Dragons of Arabia would be the Arabians, right? Read.
shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians,
Those are the Iranians. Read.
raging in wrath, shall go forth as wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come, and join battle with them.
Join battle with the Arabians. So this is them joining together to fight against America and Israel.
Right.
This is what's going to set World War III off. And World War III is for our betterment, because after World War III is over, it's our turn. Because read that again, 2nd Ezra 6 and 9.
Book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed.
But those countries, Arabia, Iran, in those Middle East, they don't respect the black man either.
No, watch this. They're all gonna be fighting. Who got nuclear weapons, right? Esau got nuclear weapons.
Right.
The Arabians gonna come together. They don't care about blowing themselves up. They don't care.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
So when they fight to the bitter death.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna get to a point where, think about it. How many people? Do you know how many people died in World War II? 25 million worldwide. It's gonna be exponentially more this time. You know why? Because the weapons are way worse now. America's been building nuclear bombs since they dropped the first two.
Right.
You think they built them just to look good? No, they gonna be dropping them on people.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna be the ones getting dropped on.
And they just came up with they just had a so-called deal with China that we were going to get rid of some of our nuclear stash. You know, they was going to get rid of some, and we was going to get rid of some.
Come on, man. You know this man better than that.
Where they getting rid of it?
So if you go down there by McAllister, it's an ammunition plant. And that's one of the main ammunition plants that supply the military. There is a vein of mountains that run through there that they set off old bombs underground. And the only reason I knew was when I was at Stringtown, we used to feel it. And they would tell you that they are getting rid of some of their old bombs. So it's somewhere underground where they set these things off in a controlled environment. And it feels like a mini earthquake. But most people don't know about it unless you live down there, man. And so if you go close to that munitions plant, you're going to get pulled over. You know, even before you can get in within a block of the place.
But if they blow up one, you know they make it two more.
Right, exactly. So the ones that they are, like they said, the ones that they was blowing up was the outdated.
Right.
So, you know, they creating.
So they say, hey, China, we gonna blow up some, we'll get rid of some.
Right.
We gonna get rid of the old ones.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Work.
Right.
Yeah. That's their craftiness, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Aviyah brought out in with the wars and rumors of war, that's why it's imperative that we gather ourselves together in the commandments. Because like I was telling the young men, that is our protection. That's our only protection from nuclear war. There's nothing else that's going to defend you from a nuke. Read Zephaniah 2.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together.
Why are we gathering ourselves together? What are we going to gather ourselves to do? Read.
Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
So, just like you said, they don't like us over in the Middle East. Like I was telling my man, he want to run to Japan. They don't like us either. I hadn't found one nation that hadn't disrespected us, like verbally and physically. I hadn't found one. I was getting called a nigga in Afghanistan, and we're at war. I'm in a white man's war that they brought to that country, but I'm the nigga. How is that? I ain't never met these people. They ain't never seen me. But out of all the other people, I was the one getting mocked. Read.
Before the decree bring forth.
Before what decree? That the end of the world. The end of Esau's world and the beginning of ours. But we got to make a decision. Do we want to be a part of the end, or do we want to be a part of the beginning? Read.
Before the day pass as the chaff. Before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you.
See, most people and how white men taught us the Bible is that the anger of the Lord is just a stern talking to. You're going to have some difficulties in your life, some financial bumps in the road. That ain't the Lord's anger. The Lord's anger is people going to die. You're going to be severely punished. That's the Lord's anger. Tempted, storms, famines. That's the Lord's anger. It ain't, my son, I need you to do better in life. I'm going to pick you back up. That ain't, I'm going to show you how to walk in my footsteps in the sand. That ain't the Lord's anger.
Yeah, no.
That's a fairy tale that we got taught to condition us to have a conscience towards white people, to do better as citizens. But the Lord's anger is war.
So, after all the wars and everything, right, we ain't gonna get in, we not involved in that. They fight each other. That's for our benefit, right? Isaiah 14.
Boy, start at 1.
Isaiah 14.
I was just there.
This is the perks, bro. So you be like, why do we, do what we do? It's the perks. Because guess what? The scriptures talked about us going into slavery and all of that. That happened to us, right? So why wouldn't I believe the flip side? The worst of the worst has happened, and it was written before it happened. Why not this? Read that.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 1.
Come on.
For the Lord will have mercy upon Jacob, and I will yet choose Israel.
Even after all the world has blown to hell, you know what I'm saying, with all these nuclear bombs and people, famine, pestilence, death everywhere. Nobody alive really was around during World War II. That's alive now. So we don't understand what that looks like. We might see the old war movies and it's romanticized. But we don't know what war looked like. But this last one is the last one. Read.
And set them in their own land.
We're going to be set in our own land. And really, right now, the same place where Gaza's being bombed at and these people doing this, that's our land. They're inhabiting it right now. So guess what? They got to get the out.
On that point, hold on. He said he was going to set them in their own land. That's what the young man was asking. How we going to get there? If there's going to be a new world, how we going to get there? God said, I'm going to put you there.
He's going to do it. Read.
And the stranger shall be joined with them.
So whoever's left, the stranger, is going to be joined with them. Read.
And they shall cleave unto the house of Jacob.
So the stranger is going to cleave to the house of Jacob. Jacob is you. They're going to be like, please take me with you, because it's going to be so bad. We need your God saving you. Take me with you.
They're going to forget about all they got.
Please take me with you.
All
Read.
they entertainment.
And the people shall take them.
And we're going to take them.
And bring them.
And we're going to bring them.
To their place.
They're going to be in our crib now. Read.
And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
What are we right now? We're servants and handmaids, right? So we're going to take the same ones, servants and handmaids. Flip side, that's justice. Read on.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were.
We ain't doing this to a people that don't deserve it. It said we're going to take them captives,
right,
whose captives we were.
What
the shoes on the other foot now.
Right.
Does it make sense for the white man to say, I took people slaves and I'm going to be their slaves? Does it make sense for him to write that about himself for his own history? When has he ever pinned himself as the victim who's going to give back?
Right. Never. Never.
Or the antagonist that's going to make everything right? He's never pinned himself as the antagonist, and you know what? I'm sorry. Everything that I did, I'm going to make it right. When has he ever done that? In our history,
Never.
when has he done that? He could have started off with the 40 acres and a mule. Did he keep that promise? Any treaty that he's ever given that says he's going to make things right, has he stuck through it and it's been legit? That's how you know you're getting it from the devil.
That's who you was on the phone.
Go ahead.
And they shall rule
Read that, Father,
over.
read that verse again. Go back.
Verse 2.
This is probably my favorite chapter in the whole Bible.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, and verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
Christianity, right, likes to make things broad, right? Like includes everybody, right? So this is very specific. It told you who's going to possess them. Excuse me, and where they're going to take them. That's not up for interpretation. It said Israel's going to take them and bring them to their place. Read.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were.
So the only way that this could be true is somebody is a captive to somebody now, and it's going to reverse later.
Right.
There's only one person or people captive now.
Right.
In all lands.
Right. There's Afro-Palestinians. Why are they called Afro-Palestinians? Because they let them know that they're related to us. And they're treated the same way we're treating you. They're Afro-Asians. There's Afro-Chinese. They put that word Afro in there to identify the Israelites in the land. And they're treated just like we're treated.
Oh, I know. I seen this morning I was watching video on it's an all-black town in Brazil, and the town is probably about 3,000 or 4,000 people. But the woman, she was going into how they're a mix of Portuguese, African, Spanish. That's their dialect or whatever, and they want people. Black people to come and support. They said, you know, everybody wants to go to Sao Paulo or, you know, all the other spots. We said, come check us out. Come check out our culture, our food. And, you know, the town, like they said, they don't get support from the government. They don't have roads. You know, they don't have.
You know what? That sounds like Palenque. It's called Palenque?
Man, I couldn't.
No, Palenque is in Brazil.
I can't remember. It was a name I couldn't pronounce. But
I watch a lot of that.
Dark.
Yeah.
Darker than you know what I'm saying? And they've been there for generations, and it was like they was pushed there.
Yeah.
You know.
The slave boat didn't just pull up in America. They pulled up all in South America, all that. That's all us, right? So read that part again. I gotta hear it again. It's music.
Verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
This can only work if somebody's being oppressed. You to rule over somebody oppressing you obviously means you were oppressed before this happened.
And now you gotta ask yourself, who is oppressing us? There's only a few answers. It ain't black people. We don't have the power to oppress each other. Now we do each other bad, but to oppress each other, we don't have that power. So who has that power to oppress?
The Chinese oppress us. The Arabs oppress us. The white man oppress us. All other nations oppress us. Think about it. In the United Nations, right? So-called Native Americans are supposed to be a sovereign nation inside this nation, right? Why ain't they got a seat in the UN? Why don't Mexico have a seat in the UN? Because they're talking about us in the media. You can't talk about somebody if you're sitting there.
Yeah, right.
You see what I'm saying? Read on.
And it shall come to pass in the day that
Overthrow a government by force. It didn't say that. It said the Lord's going to do it for us, but we have to live up to our side. Just like I said in Judah, if we keep the commandments, He's going to fight for us. Because this is all punishment. This is a whooping. Because think about it, Dark Ages, right? From 154 AD to 1400, the black man ruled Europe.
Spain, all them places.
All that. The Moors, all that. We did not keep none of those commandments in this book. We thought we were straight. Think about it. We went into slavery 16, 19 years. It was probably the worst documented slavery of all time. You gotta ask yourself, what did we do to deserve that? We was acting a fool during the Dark Ages. We was acting a fool. Right.
We had to be acting a fool. You got some here like that. I mean, you're a king. Your people are royalty. You have an army. And you can go from country to country with the same rulership above white people whom was just over you in Rome. And all those nations are subject to you. You have the power, the wealth, the knowledge. We had all of that. And it was, we fought battles and lost them to be in the slavery. Y'all heard of the Punic Wars?
No.
With Hannibal? In the Punic Wars, that's one of the wars that we lost in the beginning of us losing those 1,000 years.
And this is why Africa's called Africa now, because of the Punic Wars. The general of the Roman army called Leo Scipio Africanus, he beat Hannibal and said, oh, name this place Africa. He named it after himself, like they do all other lands.
Yeah, they do the name after themselves. Whoever conquered is right after them. You like, what?
You know what they said in the Psalms?
No, hold on, don't go there. Finish this in Isaiah. We're gonna wrap it up.
Verse 4.
I want to get to their children.
Oh, that's 21.
I want to read down to their children.
Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, and the golden city ceased?
This is the golden city. This is Babylon the Great. When you read the Revelation, Isaiah's making reference to that. This is the golden city. Think about it. Other places think America is lined with gold when they get here. It's not. I mean, of course not. We live the worst part of America, but imagine you from China, right? You just a peasant. And they say you can open up a Chinese restaurant and make thousands of dollars in the black community. Selling hair. Oh, we can do that. And guess what? They get here and then they start riding big. And just a decade. That's the golden city. They changed their whole projection of their family by just moving to America. Read on.
The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked, and the scepter of the rulers.
This the overthrown. The Lord broke their rulership. He overthrew their government. Read.
He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke.
Who's that he that did this? Do you get a break from taxation, from bills, for the hard life that we live? Those flashing lights come behind you, you know you ain't did nothing. Your heart racing? Why? Because of his wrath, his continual wrath. Read.
He that ruled the nations in anger.
How's he ruling the nations in anger? Do what I say, or I'm gonna cause famine, or I will bomb your whole city. The president of the United States told a whole country, I'll turn it into glass. Read.
Is persecuted, and none hindered. The whole earth is at rest, and is quiet.
The white man ain't gonna write this about himself. It said after he's taken out, the whole world is gonna have rest. There's gonna be no more wars. After he's put down in his government, no more wars. It's all peace. It's quiet now without him. Read.
They break forth into singing. Yea.
We gonna sing. You remember the Israelites sung when they came out of Egypt? The whole world is gonna sing after this country is laid down. Read.
The fir trees rejoice at thee.
The trees are even singing. Read.
And the cedars of Lebanon now sing. Since
Ain't they
thou-
bombing Lebanon? Ain't they about to go into war with Lebanon?
Yeah,
The Jewish?
yeah.
Well, Lebanon, they back in Gaza too, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they was the first people who
Yeah.
spoke.
All the Arabs about to unite.
Yeah.
They're all about to unite.
Yeah,
Now-
they
now
just
that-
said that on TV.
Now that they don't have to worry about dealing with this tyrant that has control of that land, they gonna be singing. Read.
Since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us.
Now that this country is out of the way, everybody's happy. Read.
Hell from beneath is moved for thee.
That's what it was talking about in the beginning.
You remember what hell is? What is hell? Captivity, right? It said captivity is moved to meet you. So you know what I'm saying? They're not talking about us, it's talking about Esau. Read that.
Hell from beneath is moved for thee, to meet thee at thy coming.
So they falling right into slavery. They from the top straight to slavery. Damn.
It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nation.
That's the Rothschilds.
Yeah, all the kings of the world is going into slavery. You just, that's what they just said. You on the throne to change. No break. Read.
All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we?
You a third world country now? Read.
Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave.
Pompous. Who's the most pompous male on earth?
Who you think? You listening? Who's the most? I'm gonna put you in on this conversation.
The
Who's the
white
most
man.
prideful?
Okay,
Thank you.
But the
You agree
thing
with that?
is, you gotta
The
look
white
at
man
it
is the most prideful man on the
as
earth.
from a real perspective. You can't. We all know that America done some wicked shit throughout all these years.
Absolutely.
Like, really wicked shit. Infiltrating different governments, assassinating people,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you gotta think, well, yeah, it might be a time where they are for to be held accountable for it, man. Because right is right and wrong is wrong, regardless of how you look at life, man.
Right.
So, like, even with just a simple example, with the Contras and the introducing of cocaine and crack cocaine in the South, that came out in a Senate hearing committee where it really, your boy,
He was an ex-LAPD detective. I know what you're talking about.
no,
Rick
I'm
Ross,
talking about
Freeway
the general. The guy, no, it's the white guy. What's his name? He's the one who came to testify. Man, his name is slipping my mind right now. But he testified before the Senate. It was like, yes, you know, this all came out. I can't remember his name. Man, it's gonna come to me. But it's the truth. Like, they really did this. That's just one example that we know of that it really affected us because
Right.
everybody had a cousin, an uncle, somebody, a mother, parent that smoked crack.
Facts.
And so it's like, damn, y'all really did that. You know what I'm saying? Just the
Tuskegee.
man with the herpes or syphilis or whatever they was doing. Yeah, and it's like, man, y'all really did that. And then there's stories of how they say black women are supposed to endure more pain than other women. That's why they give them less anesthesia doing
That was due to the
birth.
medical apartheid.
Right.
They were doing all the tests and runs. Yeah.
Man, so, you know, like you say, right is wrong is wrong. And there could be a time where they are held accountable for some of the wicked shit that they done, man. And that's just the stuff that we know.
Right.
That ain't everything that they done across seas or you know, because like right now they're having problems in Iraq again. People are attacking Americans. And then you got
The UN got caught sex trafficking children in Africa. The UN, the United Nations.
I seen that. I ain't really believe that one, but I seen that one.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what I'm
that's a fact.
Yeah, I seen that. And right now, people don't know that they're still slaves over there. Black people are still slaves.
In Libya, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember they killed Umar Gaddafi.
Right.
And then they said that plunged them into a civil war, and then slavery came out of that.
Yep.
Finish that.
Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vow. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
Because that's what we thinking. How is this great nation, America, and all of its things, how is it going to fall? It's doing so well. On the outside, it looked like that. On the inside, we know that this is a piece of trash. But it's calling him Lucifer. Light bearer is what it's talking about, because everybody want to come to America. You see the Statue of Liberty? She's bearing light. Say, follow me, this is the way. Everybody want to be next to or in business with this white man because everything is prospering in his hands. Everybody want to be here. Or in business with him. Read.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
So how did you fall? Read.
Son of the morning. How art thou cut down to the ground?
The heaven ain't talking about the pie in the sky like they try to teach it. The heaven means rulership. Just like hell means captivity, heaven means rulership. So it's literally a flip.
Not to cut you off, dude, they was Oliver North.
Yeah.
Oliver North.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to look him up. Oliver North.
Man, you can still watch the Senate hearing, man. Like that was a big deal when they came out.
And if he never would have said nothing, we would have never known.
Never know. Never know.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Go ahead.
They was doing that.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer,
And
son of the morning?
even what you said, it's asking, how are they falling? Even the same question. How do we know everything that this white man has been doing? Like behind the scenes with his secret services, how, with all the things that you were doing, how did we find it out?
Services, FEMA, all the little alphabet boys, anything that got any type of abbreviations, they killing the game. Man.
With all those connections, how did you fall?
You think
Read.
FEMA helping? They out here
How?
killing people.
How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
How did he weaken them?
For thou hast
Bombing them. Read.
For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into the heaven, and I will exalt my throne above the stars of God.
And this is white man prophecy for them. Didn't they go to the moon? Don't they have airplanes and space stations?
International Space Station.
Are they real with the space station?
It's letting you.
Did they really go to the moon?
That's what I'm
I
asking.
flow, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm asking.
If, if God said
If
they
we
did,
live under the firmament, how did they get there?
because the sun and the moon is in the firmament. Genesis specifies that it is. So they didn't
It
leave
did
the
say
firmament to get to it. The sun and the
Saying
moon
so
is
high.
in
You
the
can go
firmament.
so high, and that's about it.
But I'll get the proof of the moon in Obadiah. Finish that.
For thou hast said unto thy heart, I will ascend into the heavens. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God.
Space stations,
Satellites.
airplanes, rockets, all of that. Read.
I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation
Sit above the Israelites. Read.
in the sides of the north.
North America. Read.
I will ascend above the heights of the clouds.
Airplanes.
I will be like the Most High.
Who's saying that they God and Jesus Christ and the angels and the saints? It ain't us. We ain't saying we those people. They've been saying that they're Jesus.
Every movie portrays that
They Moses. They Paul, Peter. It ain't us saying that is them. They said that they God.
My grandma had a picture of white man Jesus on the wall. Boy, she prayed to that thing. Boy.
Yeah.
And the angel, and the little angel, white angel figurines on the table. So yeah, it's definitely him.
Read.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
He said you be brought down to brother.
They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee saying.
They all looking at this person like, I thought you was the Top Gun. You was the white man. You was America. Read.
Is this the man that made the earth to tremble?
Read.
That did shake kingdoms?
He shook them kingdoms by bomb.
This the other heathen. This the other nations mocking him at this point because he's been brought down low like them.
That made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities
Who's the
thereof.
greatest hunter that we know? Negroes don't hunt.
Hell, this
The rest of the nations don't hunt for sport. He said he made the world his hunting ground, a wilderness. Read.
Esau could find a man in a cave on the other side of the world in a country he ain't even in.
And kill him.
With a drone.
You hear me? Free.
And that Iranian general that he made his way up on the deck of cards, you know, that they have. And man, when I seen this on the news, I was like, this is amazing. So dude, they tracked dude to this airport. I can't remember what country he's in, but he got in a convoy of 3 cars. He was in the middle.
You talking about with Trump?
Yeah, Trump.
Yeah, the Iranian
Man.
general.
Yeah, the Iranian general. Man, they had a drone so high up in the sky, and it was so accurate that when it hit it only hit his car. It only took out his car. The other 2 cars were perfectly fine, man. Took out his car. You know, they got the deck of cards for the terrorists, so-called, and he was like an ace of diamonds or something like that, man. And with the power, I was like, man, that's crazy how they could do that, man.
That's a hunter.
Yeah,
That's the greatest hunter.
Free.
That opened not the house of his prisoner.
He ain't never freed us.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're the prisoners.
we got emancipated, but what came after emancipation? Jim Crow laws, black codes, redlining, financial, economic slavery is what we're in.
free to do what?
We're free to make whatever decision we want to within the bounds of their laws. That's the only freedom that we have.
Imagine you saying, you know what? I don't want to live in America no more. I want to go to Mexico.
Paying like my man said.
You ain't got no passport. Your ass ain't going nowhere, right? Get on that plane and be like, I want to go to Germany. I just want to.
Passport, I need your ID.
Right.
I need everything.
You need permission to
You
leave this
need
man.
permission. That's literally
You
what that
get a
is.
pass.
You can buy the ticket if you want to.
But if I didn't tell you can leave, you ain't leaving.
First off, I need your shot records too before you even think about going.
And if you do go and I catch you, I'm bringing you right back and you're going into slavery.
Deported, yeah, we're deporting you. Right. You're their property, so we're gonna take you back.
And now you got to wait for a penny of a dollar.
Yep.
Really?
All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory.
What verse you at?
2019, 18. Oh, 18.
Jump down to 20.
20. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed the land and slain the people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned.
They're never coming back.
They're never coming back.
They're going to be
Destroyed.
utterly erased out of life. Read.
No more.
Verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children.
Do what?
Prepare slaughter for his children.
Why does it have to specify his children? Because we're talking about the Caucasian race.
And those
Haven't you heard from the Caucasian race? It wasn't me that put you in slavery. It was my grandfather. It was my great-grandfather. That was years ago. Forget about that. Haven't you heard that? So right here, it's specified, prepare slaughter for these children. Why? Aren't they benefiting from slavery? Did they ever pay us back for our free labor? They paid the Japanese. They paid the Chinese.
They pay the British man every year.
Everybody's been
right now.
Everybody's been recompensed. Where's our compensation for our loss, our mental health? They say, oh no, just go to church, get counseling, get a job.
Pull yourself up by your own bootstrap.
Yeah,
None of these other nations had to do that.
You can't get counseling. Counseling's too high. They don't want us to get counseling.
So they say prepare slaughter for their children because the blood is still on their hands. They're still holding the prisoners of this. We're still prisoners of war, and they're holding us with their system, their prison system, their economic system, the way that they run government, their laws, even them giving us weed. That's them holding us captive.
Right.
They're making laws so we do sin. That's still holding us prisoners. They make us feel bad when we don't celebrate their holidays.
Right.
We all know that America runs off the back of the working man, the working class.
And we're the working class. Let's just be clear.
Class. Yeah, we are the working class.
We are the working class.
Right.
If all black people said we ain't going to work today, the world, this whole country would crumble.
Yeah.
Even if they went to work, it still wouldn't do anything.
I was just saying that the other day. I was saying, bro, if we all just say, hey, man, forget it. I'm not going to go to work. I'm not paying my rent. I'm not paying this. Y'all understand how America will fall if everybody just said, I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of them. They not giving us no money. They not raising nothing up for us. We still got to pay $2,000 for this old raggedy ass house. I ain't going to work.
Everything runs off credit. And before, and that was one of the reasons why they pushed Gaddafi out, is because Gaddafi was wanting to go back to the gold standard.
Mm-hmm.
And everything in America is based on credit.
And it wasn't just gold, he wanted natural resources.
Yeah, the back. And so when America got away from the gold standard and went to like the petroleum, everything is on the come. Right. We gonna drill and we gonna get you this oil.
Gaddafi wanted an alternative currency
to the oil money.
Well, see, here's the thing. All the currency is controlled by this man that they're talking about right now. The World Bank,
right?
The International Monetary Fund, that's in New York. That's not in some other country. That's here.
That's here.
So even if you're in another country and your face is on the money and you own all, and the people mine all of the bananas and the manganese and zinc and all that, there's still a white man above you that you're beholden to that says your dollar is worth
$65 of ours.
Yeah, you need 65 of your dollars to equal one of my dollars.
Right.
That's how this is ranked.
Yeah. And it's all a credit. It's a credit to buy, to have you feel good about buying. So you work all day, all week to get this $500 in credit.
Mm-hmm.
But you owe me $200 of it for this, and you owe me another $150 for this, and then you take it and say, okay, over here in the Bahamas, $1 is worth $3, but I can't go buy nothing with $1 in America. And it's just the whole setup that they got going on.
But this dollar is what all international trade is based off of. We just seen recently where you have these countries called BRICS that just got together. They was gonna try and have a rival dollar as well. You ain't hearing no more about that, because once you start threatening this white man's bottom line, buildings and shit start falling. Bombs and shit start dropping.
You might just be gone. You definitely gonna be gone.
Look,
oh no, what happened on Sustana?
Right now, the president of Russia, Putin, is an international criminal right now. Not because of the shit he's doing to Ukraine, it's because of this dollar that he's undermined. He's threatening to undermine. This is the same thing that's happening with China. This is why
China too. Yeah.
This is why China, in this whole time, they make most of our clothes come from China. The plates that we got, all this shit. But they have not moved out of the place they've been for the last 200 years. Because there is no industrial revolution in China. They're granted to be able to make those things. They're allowed to make these things. Because the person that runs this world is designating who does what. You do this over here, you do that over here. That's why you see countries like in Africa right now, where you don't find any countries except for the UN nations that make anything above a pistol. There's no AK-47 getting made in Africa. They can't make that type of stuff. They're not allowed to make that type of stuff because there is a man or a nation of people that you are beholden to, no matter how loose you think this is, where you might think, I work for myself. You're beholden to somebody. In order to operate in this business, you can keep all the money in your pocket and not pay your taxes, but in order to operate this business, you need a license from who?
Damn.
Okay.
Slaves obey your masters.
There you go. 3:21. Let's finish that. Okay. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers.
Don't we pay? Aren't we paying for what our forefathers did? So they got to do the same. God's a just God. Like, Christianity makes God very unfair. You know, he loves everybody, but there's one nation of people above everybody, getting all the benefits, and you're suffering. But he say do it peacefully, because God loves you and him. He loved a man that's beating your ass, and he loved you too.
Get Obadiah.
Isn't that what church teach you?
That's what they teach you.
He beating your ass, but he loved him.
Might as well just turn
love
the cheek and forgive him.
Yeah.
After he done beat you, forgive him, forget.
Oh, he hung your daddy. but you're supposed to still love them.
But forgive and forget, my brother.
Yeah.
Read verse
So we
1
ain't supposed to love
so we know what we're talking about.
The enemies of your own people. No. See, they took that out of context, right?
Okay.
The enemies that he's talking about would be like, let's say me and Noah, right?
We don't like each other.
We at odds.
Okay.
But I'm supposed to forgive him. We enemies to each other. But that's still my brother. We still have the same blood running through our veins. I'm not supposed to forgive a person who put me in chains, raped my mama, killed my sister, killed my daddy, made me work for 400 years. The Bible didn't say to forgive him.
Okay.
The Bible said to pray for his destruction. Read that.
In the book of Leviticus,
Jump down to where the eagle landed.
Obadiah.
this is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 1. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom.
So it's telling you about the Caucasian race. This is what they did. Specifically, the one over here. Ready?
We have heard a rumor from the Lord.
Jump down.
Verse 4. Thou exalt thyself as the eagle.
So who claims whose national bird is the
Oh,
eagle?
you know. Ours.
So it's telling you who Edom is. And who specifically is talking about went to the moon. Read.
Thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou set thyself, and they set thy nest among the stars.
What did he say when he hit the moon? So where did the eagle land?
The eagle has landed. That part, that's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
On the moon.
So we said America is the eagle, right? And where did he say he landed? Where his nest at? So if God said he did it, he did it.
Thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou set thy nest among the stars.
Let me get some. Sirach 12. Give me that. Because she brought up, she was like, hey, we supposed to, forgive our enemies? And okay. See, that's, like I said, Christianity has perverted the word of God, right? Because that's how you get slaves to not rebel. You're supposed to forgive me for doing these things. But let's see what the Bible say. Let's see. The Bible won't contradict itself, right? So read that, where it says, never trust thine enemy. Give me that.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10.
Read.
Never trust thine enemy.
So how could we have both? How could we forgive the enemy, but never trust them? You see what I'm saying? So the enemy ain't talking about the same enemy. Read.
Never trust thy enemy.
Read.
For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
So why would I turn the other cheek on my enemy if it says, just like how iron rusted, so is his wickedness? So if I turn my cheek, he's going to do the same thing to the other cheek. That's why I said never trust him. Now my brother's different. Because I might be a blood and he might be a crip. And we might not actually know each other, but we enemies. But when I get to talk to this brother, me and him are from the same struggle. You see what I'm saying? He's not really my enemy, he's my brother.
We just at odds. We had something came in between us, and if I want God to forgive me for the things that I've done, I gotta forgive my brother.
So that enemy ain't the same one as that Christ was talking about. This is an actual enemy. Now give me who gave to you.
And then on that point, how can we actually forgive them?
What do we need to forgive them for? Hell.
I mean, how can we forgive them? Is an apology enough for putting crack on the community? For shooting us on camera? You shot us on camera. You strangled us on camera. We have the evidence.
Luke 18, I think.
And you got off. Can we forgive you for that?
People, D. Rodney came down on camera and got found not guilty.
Right.
Like, bro, everybody? Man.
I was in Spencer when I seen that happening. They whooped.
And guess what he said? Can we all just get along?
They went to trial and got found not guilty.
And he said, can we all just get along?
Yeah.
You don't want to get whooped.
Yeah.
That's Christianity. That's religion.
That's Christianity on the break.
Because if that was 5 niggas on him, it would have
You
been
would
no
want all of them
forgiveness.
dead.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been no forgiveness. That's how you know the laws are
They would have
designed
hunted us
for
down
us.
and killed us, man.
Nigga killed us.
They probably would have left
Christ
one
on.
to go to
They
trial.
They would have wounded us so bad.
That the prison sits in it's like 99% white. In this particular prison, was 70% black people. And you know, it's New York, and said they was like, man, they couldn't relate to the people who was coming from Brooklyn or Queens or whatever, and that the mistreatment and inhumane living conditions was going on for so long, to where finally, you know, after they said they was reading about the Black Panther Party and the Soledad Brothers and everything, that they decided to stand up. But man, when they stood up, you know, like he said, it was normal to be called nigga. Get back in line, nigga. Or this and that, you know. And he said they didn't respect the Muslim brothers because all they fed them was pork. And he was like, if you don't eat the pork, don't eat. And so one brother got fed up one day. He got tired of getting called a nigga, and he hit a guard. And they said, you know what happens when you hit a guard? And so they were all prepared for it. And they took over the prison. They overpowered the guards, took the keys, but like he said, man, we took over the prison. We didn't take over the system. And so those people held 12 guards for hostages for like maybe 5 days. They didn't want much, they just wanted to negotiate. They wanted to negotiate better living conditions and being treated like human beings. Not black, not white, just being treated like a human being. And in the end, one of the corrections superintendent came in and spoke with them, and the president said, this is a country, Richard Nixon said, this is a country of law and order. We don't negotiate with criminals. In the end, then they brought in a helicopter, sprayed some kind of gas on these guys, right? And pulled up and just shot them all down. Shot them all down. And the ones who survived, they made them crawl through human feces. They beat them with batons. The leader of the movement, they searched him out and assassinated him right there on the spot. Man, you gotta watch it, man. And then at the end of the whole documentary, they scream white power. Yeah, bro, it's a deep documentary, man.
Damn.
Y'all should check it out, bro.
But this is why Christ said this. Read that. The segue. Watch this.
This is because of
Because the power they got, we ain't about to fight. We ain't
can't
about to
fight that.
We can't fight that. It's not happening. But read that.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 18 and verse 7.
I would have died though. I would have took my death like the brothers did in that jail. I'm not putting no shit like they did.
Yeah,
I'm doing
the
what
dude
they
that
did.
they killed, man, he was only there for 9 months. He was only supposed to be there for 9 months, and the brother was a little articulate and he was a little smarter than everybody else, and so they voted him to be the spokesman. But once they
As
found,
they should.
right, and he, you know, they had TV cameras in there, they allowed TV cameras in there and everything. And once they did what they did, they went from person to person looking for him, and once they found him, they shot him down right there.
I know they did.
Yep.
You can't have no nigga like that alive.
Nah.
No. Inside the people, no.
Now you got
Did he
to come
get out?
out here and revolutionize everybody.
Right, yeah. They gotta die.
I said they killed him on spot.
Yeah,
On spot.
no, she said if he would have got out.
If he would have got out,
Yeah, he would have had a following, but
Yeah, no. They eradicate any of us like that.
yep.
Read.
The book of Luke, chapter 18 and verse 7. And shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? I tell you, that he shall avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth?
So basically, I mean, we kind of cut it short. It's a parable, right, about a woman going to matter of fact, start at book about the unjust judge, right? Because church will tell you not to pray against vengeance to your enemy, right? You're supposed to pray for love and forgiveness.
The book
Jesus
of,
did say that.
the
Read
book of
that.
Luke, chapter 18, verse 1. And he spake a parable unto them to this end, that men ought always pray, and not to faint.
Come on.
Saying, there is a city, that there was in a city a judge, which feared not God,
Come on.
neither regarded man. And there was a widow in that city, and she came unto him, saying, avenge me of my adversary.
Avenge me of my op.
And he would not for a while. But afterwards he said within himself, though I fear not God, nor regard man, yet because this widow troubleth me, I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming she weary me. And the Lord said, hear what the unjust judge saith. And shall not God avenge his own elect?
The unjust judge is God, so it's a parable, right? So he said God will avenge his elect, read.
And, which cry day and night
so
unto
if we
him,
pray to him day and night to avenge us of our adversary, read.
Though he bear along with them.
Because it's been 400 years, right? We still crying. Yeah, it's been over 400. He's going to. This is the point. Read.
I tell you that he will avenge them speedily.
He will avenge us. Does that mean he's going to come to his man and be like, you've had him in slavery for 400 years. It's just time to let him go. Please let him go. You think he's going to be like that? Please let him go. It's enough. You've done enough to him. Just let him go, please, Esau. No. He's going
to murder these
He's going to
people.
destroy them, bro. Read and finish that off.
And let's be real. As black people, that's what we really want. We really want that thing. We've just been, we're human.
Right.
And we're Americanized. Me personally, I don't want to see nobody get hurt or die, because I'm human. But history, everything that we've been through, man, I can't wait till this man disappears. I want him gone. In the worst way.
They couldn't wait to show you a hanging black man in a history book.
Man, they couldn't wait.
They couldn't wait. You've seen a dead man in a history book with a rope around his neck, and they say this is black history.
There'd be 3, 4, 5 of them on that picture too.
Right.
It was a postcard.
Yeah, bro.
And you see him like this,
You don't
smiling.
want to see nobody dead or hurt, man. Fuck you.
Yeah,
I'm glad you said it.
It's a difficult standpoint because, like you say, you're human and you like, man, deep down, all I want is equality. You know, we all human beings. I don't want to be treated like a second-class citizen. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, like I say, if you go overseas, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I got a nephew in Paris. He's playing basketball, but it's the same thing over there.
Mm-hmm.
I had a classmate who went to, they don't call it Saudi Arabia. I think it's the
United Emirates.
Yeah, UAE.
Same treatment over there. You know, they don't believe that you should be staying at this hotel, or they don't believe that you should be driving this car. You know what I'm saying? And man, it's like, yeah, enough is enough. But they, you know, and they give you a little bit of money to make you feel like, okay, maybe y'all belong. But once you get there, they
get to look
yeah,
at
they
you
don't
all
want you
weird.
sitting at the table with them.
They gave you the money to alienate you from your people.
Right.
They didn't give you the money to be equal with them.
Right.
Right.
See what I'm saying? They he's a little wittier, he's a little smarter, he's a little bit more confident than the rest of them.
Right.
We don't want him to uplift and influence his people, so we're gonna give him this money so he can feel like he's better than his people.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not giving him the access that this money would normally give anybody else.
Right.
Because with money should come access.
Right.
You don't have access to the things they have access to. Because like right now, if you got $100 million right now, could you go into a TV station to buy it? You have the money to buy it. You have enough to buy it, but will they sell it to you? Right. Tyler Perry ran into that with BET. He got the money.
Yep.
They just won't sell it to
They
him.
won't sell it to them. They backed out on it.
Right.
The same thing happened with
Cosby.
Yep. Same thing. The other brother too.
I know he.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity.
is war!